Welcome to week 2 of the Tonto's Demise podcast. I'm Detonator's Tonto Bull 6 champ, sitting here with
Matt Detling, Tonto Bull 1-3, and whatever teen champ, 3-time champion. And I've only had the number 1 overall draft pick once, since I have to now recognize it.
Was it twice technically? Was it once with 18, once with 12?
Well, the once with 12 I don't think counts because you didn't give it to me.
No, I think there was. Craig said there was a year where you actually had a first overall pick with 12 teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, well,
I
we'll have
don't know
to.
what year it was.
This brings me to my unfinished.
Oh, wait, that might have been the year that I actually won it all. It might have been 2008.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gets me to my unfinished business.
Oh,
Let's
we're doing
move.
unfinished business already.
No, we're not.
Jeez.
It's like this thing with Craig. Solid.
Wow, you're just like chomping at the bit there. All right, so week 1 flashbacks. How to go for you? You're probably loving it. 230 some points.
That was a monster game. Fantastic. I was like, Javonte Adams was another catch. Another catch. Oh my gosh, another catch.
Game, yeah.
Then I thought Thielen at the only time like 5 points, and then I looked and I was, holy crap. Once again, I wasn't really being able to watch the TVs, but I was checking on every break, and I was like, go, baby, go.
I mean, it's like backyard football between him and Aaron Rodgers. There's like that's all he throws to. He mixes it up a little bit.
Well, I'm not going to get. It's not going to happen every week because the main part of the reason of it is because the Minnesota secondary is so bad. That in turn helped me, and it also helps me with Adam Thielen the rest of the year because I'm probably going to have to come from you. Cousins is going to have to throw it.
Yeah, absolutely, and he is like the main target now.
Yes, he got a whopping 32% of the target share.
Wow,
those are some stats for Josh.
I, on the other hand, was pleased with my team's performance.
Lost a tough one.
Yeah, you hate losing somebody with 200 points, but it went down to the wire, and I had to go to sleep. I was hoping Jerry Jeudy was just going to go out of his mind, as the number 1 receiver since Cortland was out, and. Yeah, it didn't work. Whenever I saw whatever it was, Fant get his touchdown.
Fantastic is what Craig likes to say. Really bad. Probably got it from some stupid website.
So anyways, when I saw that happen, I was like, screw it, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that game. I saw Gostkowski miss 3 field goals.
Yeah. I watched the highlights. Man, that was nuts.
Felt bad for him.
But who cares? He won the game.
He hit the winner.
Yeah.
Drained it.
Whatever, the 20-some yard winner. Like a champ.
That's right. I could hit the 20-yard winner.
I know. So, yeah. But it felt good to get football back here. All the emotions of, like, checking your phone constantly during the 4 o'clock games. Kind of rushing back.
That's right. All the emotions.
All the anxiety.
And that that 1 to 2 hour warm up of Bigler talking on the line app, going crazy. I love my team. I hate my team. It sucks. And then his video was priceless.
Oh man, that was the highlight of the week. I think
that was.
I didn't see it coming. I had
to watch it again, man.
Yeah.
It made more sense. I was like, what?
I should have watched it twice, but
it was beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't. I knew he wasn't talking to his girls, but at the same time, I didn't see.
You know how hard I work around and have to put up with his shit. That was perfect.
Because there's definitely things that I'm sure he might have said to his girls at one point in time with
probably
hopefully less colorful language.
Yeah, probably. But I could definitely see it. It'd be great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, what dad wouldn't say that? Our mother.
Yeah. So.
But no, it was awesome. Very awesome to get back on the horse, and gallop through week 1. Get that first victory for me. Unfortunately, the first loss for you. Yeah,
well, it's funny because it's like you and Craig both didn't make the playoffs last year, so the fantasy gods are trying to give you a little hope.
I don't like to be compared in the same sentence as Craig Kavicic.
Okay, understandable. All right, let's get this show on the road. Unfinished business.
Wow.
I don't know if I have any.
Somebody hit you in the nuts right there?
You were grabbing my balls.
I was grabbing with a little twist.
Yeah.
It's like Sprite with a twist of lemon. You don't have any?
I don't think so. Maybe something will come up when you're talking, but...
Okay. Real quick, my first unfinished business has nothing to do with fantasy football. So I was in Target the other day, and I was walking. I like to go back to the electronics section and also kind of like the toy section and the baseball card section.
What are you, 8?
Kind of. I know, right? Well, that actually plays into what I was going to say. But so I didn't know. I saw this one kid, and he had it out, and I never knew it even existed, but apparently there's like this one toy company, I want to say like Mecca or Tecma, I forget what it is, but they make like special like toys every once in a while, like really cool. And this kid had a Rocksteady and Bebop action figure thing by Nickelodeon. It was a duo.
Yeah.
And he had like his phone out, so I knew he was checking the prices, like to see what you could sell it for to flip it.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh shit, that might be worth something. I was like, but those are really cool. And I was like in my head, but I never saw this thing. But then I was like, oh, I kind of want them. So I walked by. I didn't want to be like, oh, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So I walked a couple rows back, and then I said, I'm going to go look at these things. And came back. That kid already left. He took one, right?
Okay.
This other dude was there. I see him bending down. He's got one. And he bends down and he grabs another. And so he takes them all. And I'm like,
how many were there?
2.
Okay.
But still, he took the last 2. Like, he didn't. Yeah. And I was like, what the? And I knew he's trying to sell them. They're and it pissed me off. Like, my thing was, you know how like when we were kids, I just started remembering because I was in the toy section.
Mm-hmm.
You'd go to Walmart, or wasn't even if it was Walmart back in Hills. Yeah, you'd be like, can I find the Michelangelo be there? So, Michelangelo, Raphael, whatever's tough, maybe that'll be there. But this was a time where we didn't have to worry about people taking the toys and selling for double the price on the line, or triple, or whatever the demand is.
Yeah.
And
anything that has value is like sniped.
Yeah, exactly. Same with like baseball cards and all that stuff.
Concert
tickets, yeah. So it's like a whole new world, and it sucks. Because I looked at this guy, and I was so mad. I was like, dude, I want to look at that. Like, I feel like maybe I could buy those. I mean, the price tag was like $60 for these 2 things. But I was still like, those are awesome. They were really good looking, too. They were like really authentic to the old cartoon, which was really neat.
That's cool.
So I went and looked online. And then,
what are they selling for?
Like 100.
Okay.
So, and one was like 150, buy it brand new. But then I was in line at the at Target, and he's behind me, and I'm looking, he's got it. I'm like, you dick. Like, I just wanted to take whatever I had in my hand and just hit him smack in the head. Like, those aren't for your kids. Look at you, dude. You look like you're out of shape, fat, don't have a life. You live for these toy stuff, and you're robbing kids and me of the chance of even looking at one of these things.
Well, Tree Size does stuff like that.
Well, Tree Size has kids at least.
Yeah, that's true.
But he also has like a gigantic trophy case of comic book stuff.
Yeah, he's not just a dealer. He actually appreciates it.
Yeah, like this guy just, I don't know, it really rubbed me the wrong way. But it damaged my childhood nostalgia. And it made me long for those days where I could go, like, have like a, find your Transformer, your G.I. Joe or something, and be like, Mom, can I have this? I really want it, Cool.
Dude, put it on your wish list.
Put
it on your wish list.
I don't want that. It was the joy of, like, picking it from the shelf.
Gotcha.
So, you know what I mean? You know what I mean.
I do.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that now it makes you mad. But that was my unfinished business with that guy. So that guy what big was it? Besides suck a bag of dicks. Get on the bag of dick wagon.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But yeah, Bigler, that guy at Target deserves what you would like to lash out at him for. That's that unfinished business. And then my other unfinished business is with Craig. I'm trying not to have so much with him this year. But I got to thinking, also with his top draft pick stuff, blah, 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 blah. If fantasy football was a sitcom,
yes,
and it was The Office, I would be Michael Scott, and he would be my fucking Toby, the HR guy.
Wait, why would you be Michael Scott?
Because this is my unfinished business, Brian, and he would be Toby, the HR guy, the one who where you go.
I don't think he would disagree with that.
No, because he's like, I'm like, why do you always have to ruin my fun, Brian?
Yeah.
Why does Craig have to ruin my fun?
But Toby had Toby had a really
football language only.
Good, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
He has a very dry sense of humor, and he had a couple good one-liners on that show, which is totally Craig.
And if in fact there is a Wimber Strangler, it could be Craig. I could totally see it. But anyways, Craig just has to point things out. Like, I can't go on my rants on podcasts, which I'm supposed to do to get filler in this thing. And as I was saying before Nola had to come out, I go on rants. I do it for filler for the podcast, for the lineup filler, all this stuff. You got to get rants. That's fantasy football.
Absolutely.
Craig has always got to prove me wrong if I'm wrong or something. He just has to give his little stats and, this is what it is, and you're wrong. And then if I say something like...
That's why Josh loves him.
Yeah, that's why Josh loves him. And then he has to be like his witty thing. I don't even call it witty. You just turn a word around. And I said, you stupid top 5 fuck. He's like, well, I guess I'm a top 5 fuck.
Yeah, he can be witty.
Yeah, sometimes. But no, it's not necessary, Craig. It's stupid. I didn't think that was funny at all. I was like, oh, whatever. Give me a break. If we want to go through your sexual history, we will.
Oh my god. You guys need counseling. I love it.
That's all.
This is your counseling.
This is my therapy session. So you are my Toby, officially my Toby.
Wow. All right. Your move, Craig. Your move.
Doesn't need to be a move. He already does his thing.
Well, I'm just saying he can come back. He can, give his rebuttal if he wants to.
Just like
he
Toby
can tell you
would.
why you're not Michael Scott.
Well, it's a saying for the sitcom. I'm not saying I'm Michael Scott.
I'd be more of like the Jim character.
You would not be the Jim character.
I'm like funny, getting Pam.
No, you would be the Ed Helms.
Okay, I'll take
but
that.
Also kind of loserish.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Get lucky once in a while.
Once in a while. Once in a while you get the good-looking girl, but then you screwed up.
Josh is Dwight.
You're in the barbershop quartet, a cappella. But Craig's also the type of guy that probably never even watched The Office.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Because I think he's also one of the guys that never watched Seinfeld. He doesn't do things because it's not cool. It's cool to not do it in his mind.
Yeah, I doubt he didn't watch it just because it's not cool.
I know. He's going to say, well, I didn't think it was that good of TV, and, the storyline wasn't that great, and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, there's millions of people that would argue with him.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on.
Oh, hold on.
Yep.
This is Jade never listens to this podcast, but I'm just going to throw this out there anyway. I met his new girlfriend.
Marsha.
Yeah, oh, my God. I bet she's never heard that.
I bet not.
I bet that's never, ever come up in her entire life.
Did she get punched in the nose or something with any inanimate objects?
No, but she's a lovely girl. Really lovely. Yeah, really kind of funny, witty, charming, cute. I really liked her. But anyways, Jay's like, don't fault her, but she's never really watched Seinfeld.
Boo, get rid of her.
I know. No, it's not a deal breaker.
No.
It's not a deal breaker. And then I said, well, I've never seen Goonies. So
get rid of you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she said. Pretty much. She's like, how is that possible?
Yep. Yeah, hang out with Brooke and you can tell her the same thing.
We all have our flaws.
That's a pretty big flaw, Brian. I still have I own the rights to divorce Brogan because of that.
Because she's never seen.
Yep, Goonies.
It's not fair. Not fair. Different generation.
I said you have until the wedding to watch this. It's 4 years, Brian.
Yeah.
To watch, you could watch it in half an hour increments, one per year.
Did you get a prenup?
I don't get no stupid prenup.
Should have got a prenup with that in writing.
Should have got a prenup. What's that song? In writing.
Is that a song?
That's somewhat a prenup. I forget. Prenup. Kanye West, Gold Digger, I think.
Yeah. It's completely different.
Yeah. Why would I get a prenup? She makes more money than I do.
Like, very good point. Yeah. She should have got a prenup.
Probably.
Definitely should have got a prenup.
I'm a low life.
You can't even pass your drug test, man.
It's not my fault. It was a surprise. They sprung it on me.
And she's like, why are we $300 short?
That's where you're wrong, Brian, because we don't have joint checking accounts.
Joint. I get it. Not yet. Well, that's because she doesn't want to give you any of her money.
No, it's because I bitch about her bills. She said, we're not gonna discuss bills unless we have a joint account. I said, well, no, because I like to do with what my money is.
Exactly. She does not want you to have any of her money.
She told me yesterday she thought I was spending too much on retirement, and I said, I think you're crazy.
That is crazy.
Exactly. I said, you don't understand the life.
Yeah.
I said, I am building for us.
Yeah.
You build the present, I build the future.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
For when I'm dead. And some other young guys there.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby! All right, Delling, give us a rundown. Craig said that we might have like some kind of record for the number of trannies this week. Just go through the whole list and maybe highlight the ones that are interesting.
All right, Brian. First off, we'll start with the bottom one here. We got Benny Snell Jr. for $100. Smackaroos from Gags to Riches.
The guy who said he was not going to put any bids in for anybody.
Oh, he's always lying.
Well played.
Always lying. Then we got Shaw.
Hold on. I want to hear the bids on that one. Or can you not see them?
I can't see the bids.
All right, don't worry about it. Good.
That'd be nice if you just hit it with your thumb.
I know I bid like 33, something like 33? That. Yeah.
I did not make one bid on any player.
Okay.
Up next is Shawshank Athletics. Logan Thomas, the tight end, for $39.
Who's he play for?
I believe the Redskins.
Okay.
I just learned about him. Marquez Valdez Scantling for $34, which I guess the competition for the Green Bay second receiver.
Yep.
Craig won that one. Close doesn't count. And Jay getting into the transactions early. Jay. Frank Gore for $15.
Connor went down.
Yeah. Yep. All right, and the Hillbillies on PCP got none other than AP for $11.
Why not?
Next, we got Ed Logger picked up OJ Howard.
Okay.
For where we go, $10.
Still playing for Tampa Bay?
Yes, he is.
Man, that's crowded out there.
It's very crowded. Disco got a pity win of Jared McKinnon for $3.
Which I saw he said he didn't really want him, but whatever.
Yeah, he dropped Chris Thompson because he was wearing the wrong uniform. For Dub C, is it Miles Gaskin for $2? I think the Dolphin guy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I can't remember. Disco picks up CJ Uzoma for $2. Those are the only transactions that were costly.
Okay.
Now, I guess we go best value and worst value.
Yeah.
For best value, I think I'm gonna go with maybe Marquez Valdez-Scantling for $34. I want to say Benny Snell, but that's $100. That's half your capital, right?
I mean, yeah, it's half. Like, I like that he went for Benny Snell, but I think he overpaid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna get a few good weeks, and Connor's pretty much not done, but he might as well be.
I mean, it's an ankle. He might be better. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's mine. Do you agree with it? No. Scantling? No.
I don't think that's the greatest value in the world. I don't know. Nothing really jumps out at me.
Well, you gotta make one.
All right, we'll say AP for 11.
Bias much. All right. Worst value, I guess, would be in my humble opinion, I'm gonna go Logan Thomas for $39.
Agreed.
Because I think he had one good week. I don't even know what the stats are, but I'm just like, who's Logan Thomas? I just don't.
And why did you just spend $40 on him?
Yeah.
Who was that anyway?
That's Josh.
Okay.
And it's funny because it's a tight end.
Yeah.
So his algorithm probably was like, Logan Thomas, spend this much on your fab. So yeah.
All right.
Then do we do anything else?
That's all. Until next week.
Until next week.
Trade time, trading guys, excellent. Wow.
That was actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
I felt like we should have our arms around each other.
Yeah, you can't manufacture that.
I mean, that's almost on the level of the shins.
I don't know about that, but especially because I think James Mercer does all the harmonies by himself. But yeah, we could be two James Mercers. Why not?
Sure, why not?
Anyways, trade. We had one trade this week, correct? I think it was just one.
Just one.
I'm sure there's lots of chat going on behind closed doors, but only one actually came into the light of day. What was it, Delling?
The light of day, Brian, brought us the Shawshank Athletics trading away none other than Nicholas Chubb of the Cleveland Browns from Gags to Riches for T.Y. Hilton and, forgive me if I butcher it, Laviska Shenault Jr. of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a rookie, folks.
Okay.
From the lovely College of Colorado.
All right. Is he a running back? What is he?
He is. He's listed. He's a wide receiver, but I believe he's kind of being like a hybrid out there on the field. I didn't see the highlights, but I heard them talking about it.
Okay. Now, Chubb, is this his last year with him?
Thanks for looking.
Now, Chubb, is this his last year with Josh?
I believe it is.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes it a little bit more acceptable.
A wee bit.
A little wee bit. Now, T.Y., he used to be a household name. He's kind of fallen off. He probably...
Injuries.
Yeah. He still has potential. At least he has Phillip Rivers there.
Right.
Can get him the ball. I mean, T.Y. might get you 4 or 5 good games in a season. And then the rest of the time,
right.
He's either not suiting up or getting you like 8 points. That's my experience, and I've had him quite a bit of time.
Isn't he like another version, kind of like a Deshaun Jackson, sort of?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Kind of, but maybe like more consistent, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's getting up there in age too.
Oh yeah,
for
speedy receivers. It's hard. The only one that ever was consistent really was Joey Galloway.
That's Treese's boy.
Treese's boy.
So, anyways, who do you think won the trade?
I I think Gags won it, and because Chubb has he's I think Brandon was the one that said if we did a redraft, he'd be a round 2 pick.
I think that's a little high.
Or was it? You think so? Instead of a round 6 pick?
Is that where he went this year as a keeper?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, he was lower than that, or higher than I should say.
I think Chubb would probably go round 4, 3 or 4.
Really? Well, after week 1?
Oh,
I don't
after
know.
week 1?
I'm still, if I'm in the bottom half of the second round, I'm still picking Chubb, man.
Would you really?
I would. I love Chubb.
Okay.
That sounds terrible. But
we're going to cut that.
I like the potential of Nicholas Chubb, the running back of Cleveland Browns. But no, he's a great running back. He could lead the league in rushing. He's definitely capable of doing it. And I just feel like after 1 week, it's just so early to toss him away like he's trash. I just couldn't believe it when I was like, dude, I would hang on to that guy for at least 8 games.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to talk about ceilings and potential, he's got so much more potential. Yeah, he got that rookie, but you shouldn't be playing that rookie game this early.
No, you should. Well, that's what I said about thinking about keeper potential. I said, I'm sorry, if you're thinking about keeper potential week 1, you were just basically admitted that your team sucks. You're thinking about next year already?
Unless you get him as an added bonus, which maybe that's what he's saying. I like TY, and this is an added bonus. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't agree with it. It's not my style of trade. But, even with LaVisca Chenault, I think I could be wrong, but the 3... I now have to say I could be wrong on everything because Craig will correct me. That all 3 of their wide receivers, Shark, Schultz, and I think Westbrook or somebody, all caught touchdowns, but they all had 4 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. It wasn't it was a passing game. It was almost like Tom Brady-esque.
Yeah.
And that's not what I want on my fantasy. I want the guy who gets the target share.
You want Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I want Devontae Adams. So I'm not traded for 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown.
Right.
I mean, it's 12 points, but still, it's average.
Yeah, so I think we agree that Gags won this. It wasn't trade rape in my book, but...
It wasn't a rape.
No.
But at the same time, why are you trading with Gags? Everybody knows. Last year, everybody traded with Gags, and he just ran away with it, and we had to drive 5 hours. Josh, you drove the car.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, this is week 1. Next week, somebody else gets traded.
And it pisses me off that Gags gets a win, week 1 with a subpar score. And yeah, I'll say it's because Disco had a bunch of big guns down, in week 1. He got already hitting that injury bug. So I felt for Disco on that one.
Me too, because I felt like he was definitely ready to run away with it.
Yeah.
And his smack talk was definitely winning.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it could be like him and Jim Crick. I always feel like they have great squads and stuff always hampers them.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have Bigler if he wins, man, dude, he's going to be Saturday night, midnight to 2 a.m. draft.
Yep, absolutely.
It's not going to happen, but it'll happen. He's just going to moan about it.
Did you find the files?
I don't even know what they look. What do they look like?
They're in the computer.
They're in the computer?
Yeah, they're definitely in there. I just don't know how he labeled them.
I got it.
You gotta figure it out.
Roger. In the computer. It's so simple.
This week on Inside the Computer, we're going to talk about your records. Who owns you? Who can't you beat? And who can't beat you? Coming up next. All right, everyone. Welcome inside the computer. We're going to start this week talking about Mr. Craig Kubicek. Craig has a win percentage above 60% against 4 people in the league. There aren't many people that could say that they own Craig Kubicek, but the one that can is Jim Crick. For the last 10 years, Craig is 4-9 against Crick. That's a win percentage of just 31%, the lowest for anyone. Who does Craig own? Well, I mentioned he's got a 60% win percentage or better against 4 of us. That's Brian, Tree, Josh, and Jut. His highest win percentage is 69%, and that's against Josh. Total fuckery, if you ask me. I don't believe it. I think my data's wrong, honestly. That can't be true. But I'm okay with the 69, since it's Craig. Next, we'll move on to Mr. Detling. Detling is around the 50s for almost everyone. There's no one that he has a real high win percentage against. Oh, wait a minute. That's not true. He's a Huber squasher. He's 8-2 in the last 10 years against Jimmy. It's a win percentage of 80%. That's an ass kicking. Now, he claims to be the total Huber squasher, but Jay has his number. He is above 50% win percentage against Jay, but not nearly the same as Jimmy. Who owns Detling? Well, I'll tell you who owns Detling. He has a 33% win percentage against his alter ego, Jeff, if you remember Jeff. And he also has just a 36% win percentage against Josh. That's his lowest for current members. He's 5-9 overall with a 36% win percentage against me. So Detling, I own you. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about Brian. Brian, overall, has a wide variety of percentages. Most of his percentages are not near the 50% mark or 500. He's either very low or very high against most people. The biggest win percentage he has is against Jimmy Huber. He's also 8-2 in the last 10 years for an 80% win percentage. Jimmy couldn't beat the podcasters. For current members, his highest win percentage is 67% against Disco. He's 4-2. A little bit larger sample size. He's 64% against both Crick and Gags. So I would say, I guess, Brian owns maybe Disco. Let's call it Disco. Who owns Brian? Well, he's got a win percentage of 30% or lower than 40, I guess, in the 30s against, let me count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on my list. Craig, Det, Josh, Bean, Jut, and Jeff. All of those people practically own Brian. The lowest, though, of current members is Josh. He has just a 27% win percentage against Josh. 3-8 over the last 10 years. What does that mean? I guess that means I'm a podcaster squasher. Does that sound like a good name? A Brian Det squasher? I like that. Maybe that's what I'll go with. All right. I own the podcasters. Next up, we have Tree. Tree is around the 50% mark for a lot of folks. He's in the 30s for some, but his lowest percentage is 33%. Now, who does he have at 33%? Well, there's 3 people. Gags, Jay, and Disco. So all 3 of you practically own Tree. Although 33% isn't too bad. Not like 27%, like Josh has over Brian. Just saying. Who does Tree own? Well, he's got 64% against 2 individuals. And that is Bean and Jutt. He's 9-5 against Bean, and he's 7-4 against Jutt. Moving on to Crick. Crick has 40s for a lot of folks and 60s for some folks. What's his lowest percentage? Well, it's Jimmy. He was 3-8 against Jimmy before Jimmy left the league. That's just 27%. For the current members, he has 33% against Disco and 36% against Jay and Brian. So Jay and Brian and Disco, you guys are a shared ownership of Crick. Who does Crick own? Well, we discussed it before. It's Craig. Crick is 9-4 for 69% win percentage against Craig. So, if you think about it, he not only 69 Craig, but he's 69. Now, I don't know. I don't know if I should. Well, I should probably bring Craig's sister into this. Maybe I should. All right, never mind. Next, we're going to talk about gags. As a league, we suck against gags. Gags has an over 500 win percentage against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people on this list. Well, that also includes a 1-0 record against Ed, but it still counts. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4 people who have a winning record against Gags, which is kind of unbelievable. The person that has the best record against Gags is Brian. Brian is 4-7. Gags is 4-7 against Brian. That's a 36% win percentage. So Brian owns Gags. Who does Gags own? Well, he had an 83% win percentage against Jimmy. He was 5-1. For the current members, he has 67% against Tree, 67% against Josh, but he has 71% against Jutt, 5-2. But the current member that he really owns is Disco. He's 6-1 against Disco for an 86% win percentage. So come on, Disco. We need to correct that situation. Moving on to Josh. We already discussed the mega win percentage for Josh against Brian. So Josh has a 73% win percentage against Brian, 8-3. So Josh owns Brian. 9-5 against Det, that's 64%. But he also has a 67% win percentage against Bean. 10-5 against Bean. Who owns Josh? Well, I only have a 31% win percentage against Craig. I'm 4-9. 33% against Gags. Before last year, it was close to 50 until he beat me 3 times last year. So who owns Josh? Craig and Gags. It's a threesome. All right, next let's talk about the Hubers. First up is Jay. Jay has a below 50% win percentage against a lot of folks. His lowest, however, is Jutty. He's just 4-11 against Jutt. 27% win percentage. Jutt handily owns Jay. Who does Jay own? Well, He's got a 67% win percentage against Tree and a 64% win percentage against Crick. Those are the only two that he has above 50% win percentage against. He's 7-4 against Crick. He's 7-4 against Crick and 8-4 against Tree over the last 10 years. For Jimmy has had a lot of up and down seasons while he was in the league. He'd be 12-1 one year and then 1-12 the next. Who owned Jimmy? Well, Gags was only 1-5 against Gags. He had a 17% win percentage. He was 2-8 against the podcasters. Det and Brian both only 20% win percentage. So it's kind of a three-way. A little menage a trois between Det, Brian, and Gags for ownership of Jimmy. Who does Jimmy own? Well, Jim Crick. He was 8-3 against Jim Crick. 73% win percentage. Next up, we have Kevin Bean. Bean's around 50% for most folks. His highest percentage is 64% against Jay, 64% against Brian, but 67% against Judd. So he's 6-3 against Juddy, 7-4 against Jay, and 7-4 against Brian. So technically, with a slightly higher percentage, he owns Judd. Who owns Bean? Well, his lowest percentage is 33% against Josh. So he's 5-10 in the last 10 years against Josh. That's just a 33% win percentage. Sorry, Bean, but you are my third ownership. For Juddy's also around 50% for a lot of folks. But the person that he owns the most is Jay at 73%. He's 11-4 against Jay. Who owns Judd? Well, again, we talked about it, but Gags has a 29% he has a 29% win percentage against Gags. He's just 2-5 against Gags. He's got a couple more 30s in there against Bean. He's 3-6 against Bean and 4-8 against Craig. But Gags has ownership currently. All right, next up, let's talk about Disco. Disco has a smaller sample size than most of us due to his extended hiatus during the middle of my data. Don't know what he was doing during that time, but it wasn't fantasy football. Disco has a 67% win percentage against 4 people. So he's 4-2 against Tree, Crick, Jay, and Jimmy. So he technically owns 4 people. Is that a menage a 4? Menage a trois plus 1? I'm not really sure how you say foursome in French, but I don't know. That's 4 dudes, man. Who owns Disco? Well, we talked about it already. Gags. He's only 1-6 against Gags, a 14% win percentage. Last, we're going to talk about Ed. Ed's only been in the league for 2 years. The data that I have is only last year plus week 1 of this year. So who owns Gags? Or who owns Ed? Sorry. No one really owns Ed except for maybe me. I have a 2-0 record against Ed. He hasn't beat me yet. And I'm the only person who has beaten Ed twice. So I guess if anybody owns him, it's Josh. He has a 1-0 record against several folks, just based on what he did last year, and a 1-1 record against Tet and Brian. So we'll try to get some more data points for Ed, and maybe in 3 or 4 years, this data will be meaningful, and maybe he'll be 0-6 or 0-7 against me. You never know. We have another matchup coming up at the end of the year, so 0-3? Maybe.
All right, there we have it. Our second week. Who owns you? Who do you own? My first thoughts are, man, he wants to 69 with Craig, and Craig 69 with Crick, and potentially Sally. That's what I gather from that entire thing.
No, he said he's okay with the number 69, and then I think he was saying that Crick and Sally were 69ing as well.
Simultaneously.
So because he was like, should I not? Should I? It's another one of those things where like it's a sexual thing where he could go for the throat, the jugular.
Yeah.
But he didn't, but he kind of did.
Right,
it's
but
kind of like an offbeat.
But he was definitely cool with 69 Craig.
Yeah.
Twerking bull cut.
Twerking bull. What's that I never want to see in my life. Gosh, that might make me jump off the McNally Bridge.
Just end it all.
End it all. Like that blind. Some things you can't unsee, Brian.
All right, but seriously, I found the segment very interesting. I felt like Josh was like kind of swaying the numbers to favor him. Yeah, the fudging. Just kind of manipulating the data so that he can own more people. You know, I think he owns like 4 or 5 people.
Do you think he was like from another life a slave owner? That's what he sounded like. He's like, I own 4 shares of the league.
Yeah, that's
My
possible.
Plantation is wonderful.
I think, you know, he just kept going back to how many people he owns, but like he just glossed over the fact that Gags owns the majority of the league.
Right? Yes. Yes. He did not. He only said 1 out of the 4.
Yeah,
that had a winning record against him. We'd like to know who the other 3 are, Josh.
I will say it is satisfying to know that I own Gags. You know, I guess I'm owned by quite a few people in this league, including Josh and Craig and I forget who else. But it's nice to know I at least own Gags, you know, one of the premier players in the recent, you know, few years.
Right.
So you guys can't beat him, but I can. Come on. I have no room to talk because I couldn't beat him when it counted last year in the playoffs.
Neither could Josh. 0-3 in 1 year?
Yeah.
That hurts, man. Drives it right home.
Yep, and Gags, I guess, apparently owns Josh.
Bad. Well, he owns Disco. I couldn't believe that 1-6 record, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks for Disco. Probably just like chewing on his lip going, I know, he owns me.
He's like, I knew it was bad.
Yeah, marijuana, buddies. It doesn't matter how much weed he gets to smoke me up with. He still just kills me every time. Oh, that was funny. Yeah, you know, I'd like to say this is our class, and you know, bring our notebooks, our pencils, turn your ears up for Gags, or not Gags, for Josh.
For Josh,
because of all the stats and data that he has compiled, and it's kind of really cool and interesting to hear. And for me, like Jimmy Huber, 8-2. You're 8-2 against him as well.
I figured you were 8-2 or somewhere higher, but I was like,
I didn't. Huber squasher, baby.
Yeah, I did not consider myself a Huber squasher until today.
Yeah, when you name your team after him.
Yeah.
But I still call myself a Huber squasher. If I have a higher than 50% rating with Jay, I'm calling that a win. That's a Huber squasher. I don't call myself the Huber squasher anymore.
No.
I had to beat both of them in the same year, and I didn't do it, so I took off the name. I said, well, I can't keep that up there with my honor and dignity.
Exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't be right.
It's a great name, but I can't do it.
But yeah, did you like the segment?
Oh yeah, I thought it was very good. I'm sure everybody who listens to the podcast will actually be curious to hear who owns them, who
absolutely.
doesn't.
And I can't wait to go back and write down everybody that I own.
Right.
You know,
Craig
and
Craig the 60s. What was his percentage? The one he owns Jut.
He owns me.
A couple other people. You. But yeah, it's just you're one of those things. And you're like, please don't let me be owned by Craig. It's a terrible thing to think about. But no, I love the stats. That's kind of cool. And it's some things that like you never really think about too hard as far as do they really own me? Do I really own him? Or
right.
You just kind of have like that feeling in your gut. And like I always do with like Huber, I was like, oh, easy win. easy one coming up.
Man.
But then, like, other people, I was like, I didn't think about it. As far as, like, Josh, I didn't really ever realize that Josh owned me.
No.
I mean, the only game that sticks out in my mind is that third place game with Jabbar Gaffney. That's the one that's just, like, is seared into my brain.
You'll never forget that.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
I lost, and Jabbar Gaffney went off, and it's just like, how does this happen?
Yeah, and I honestly didn't know that, like, Gags, like, pisses himself when he plays against me. Like, that's good to know, you know?
That is.
He probably puts on his it is what it is, you know, tank top, but inside, you know, he's crying like a little girl, which is good to know.
That's the second one. Did you hear? You know that his wife threw the first one out.
Oh, did she? I didn't hear that.
It is what it is shirt, yeah. So he got another one, and that's what he wears. And she tried to get rid of the second one, too.
And eventually, he's not going to be able to find that. He's going to have to, like, hire, like, Jimmy and Jay to, like, get back in the business and, like, print it.
Yep, exactly.
But anyways, yeah, that's going to be some really cool, like, ammo for future trash talk, you know?
That's right. I own you. Did you not hear the records? I have the deed to your life in fantasy as we know. I have a 69% win percentage.
That's right.
And it was awesome to hear that Crick owns Craig.
Yes,
like,
yes.
I was like surprised, but I was like, whoa.
I knew he had a good record against him, but I didn't know it was that good.
I thought it was going to be Josh, because Josh always called him the Kibisic Killer.
That's true.
But I think Josh said something like he had a 4-8 record against him, or something,
against
4-9.
Yeah.
So in fact, he is not the Kibisic Killer.
It's the opposite.
It's the brother-in-law.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
The brother-in-law did it.
The brother-in-law. You'll never guess.
But yeah, Josh, great segment. Keep them coming.
Yes, and love the voice, man. Just keep it going.
A little less sexual.
Oh, yeah, apparently me, you, and Gags are in a menage a trois. We're doing the Eiffel Tower. I'm not sure who's in the middle.
There's a lot of visuals that, like, I can't.
It's kind of one of those things.
No, definitely not me.
You don't think? Do you think it would be Gags? Because he's like the muscular dude, so he's the one taking the ass.
Again, this is why we
Josh
should not
doing menage a trois jokes and stuff. Yeah. But and he gets that subtle dig at one of us at the end. Was should I not? Should I? And I caught it. You didn't catch it again. You didn't have your ears open, Brian.
Maybe it's intentional.
I think it's probably intentional. He probably knows your sense of humor.
Yeah.
And that you don't, I guess you don't listen as hard for it. But Josh is the silent assassin.
Oh, nice.
So,
but he's definitely not a podcast killer.
Yeah. You know what the opposite of assassin is? Dick out.
Wow. I had to think about that.
Yep.
Yeah. That was fast.
That was fast. It's pretty funny.
It's not as funny when you have to say it's funny.
Fine, you laughed. Dick out.
I did. All right.
This week's matchups.
You didn't have to keep going because I did. You couldn't give me 2 seconds to shine.
I was supporting you, Brian.
Spotlight whore.
Vocals.
All right, Delling, what's our first matchup of the week?
Our first matchup is none other than Possum Magic versus the Springfield Isotopes.
All right, and let me give a little historical data on that, brought to you by none other than Shawshank Athletic. Historical series is 7-4 in favor of Craig, and Craig has won the last 6 meetings. Wow. Tree hasn't beaten Craig since 2014.
Ouch. That sucks.
That does. I do love those stats, so I'm really hoping Tree can break this little curse.
Yeah, I was just saying he's trying to bounce back from his week 1 loss to me. Try to overtake Craig, who just barely beat you.
Yeah, you need 200 points to do it. All right.
That's right. All right, let's go with this matchup. On one side, we've got Matthew Stafford, and the other side, we've got none other than Pat Mahomes. I got to go with Mahomes.
And, Tree, I hope for your sake he stays under 50 points again. It probably won't happen.
Nope. And the receiving core of Tree sides, we've got Scary Terry, Marvin Jones Jr., and Tyler Lockett versus Calvin Ridley, Will Fuller, and Deontay Johnson. I got to give it to... I'm going to give it to Tree Size.
You're high.
I think that Craig's wide receivers just had a lucky break last week. Atlanta's playing from behind. Calvin Ridley went off only because they were playing from behind. I just don't... Will Fuller's only a matter of time before he gets hurt. Deontay Johnson might be the best one on the squad, and I still don't understand why he didn't just keep him lower rounds. But I'm sure he could tell me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm going to go with Tree Size, man.
All right, I'm going to take Craig. Deontay Johnson looked awful last week. I don't know if did you get
for
to
the
watch
first half?
Yeah, he still did. He had other drops.
He did but he still got 14 points. He got the most targets.
Yeah, he should have had 30 points.
Yeah, it's all about the targets here, baby.
Yeah, you're right. He got a big target share. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, I'm going to take Craig. I think Deontay Johnson has a huge week. Calvin Ridley is legit. I think he's gonna keep pace with Julio. Not quite Julio numbers, but who knows? Maybe he will. I'll take Craig.
Okay. Next for the running backs, we've got Derrick Henry and Chris Carson. Biggest regret not drafting him. Aaron Jones and Alvin Kamara. Who cares? I gotta go with. You know what? I'm gonna surprise you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna surprise you.
What are you gonna do?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna go with Craig.
Yeah, I'd like to go with Tree Size.
I was looking at that Derrick Henry man versus Jacksonville.
Yeah,
he might feast.
He could actually feast. He could get maybe 3 touchdowns there. Yeah, I gotta give it to Craig. Not that it's a landslide, but Carson against New England, I think they're gonna shut him down. So I'm gonna give it to, just because of that, I'm gonna give it to Craig.
All right, going to tight ends, we got Jared Cook versus Noah Fantastic.
Is he hurt?
Who fantastic?
Yeah,
no, he's not. Doesn't have anything on there.
All right.
I'm going Jared Cook, man.
Yeah, I'm going to give that to Cook as well.
I feel like Pittsburgh's linebackers can shut down Fant. All right, we got to go to the flex. The flex appeal, we got Stefan Diggs versus Nyheim Hines. You know, you want to say Hines, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go Diggs.
Not going to do it?
Versus Miami.
All right. I will go Hines. And Hines is Tree Size's boy. He's going to use him against him. I'm going to go Hines.
All righty. Well, you know what they say. Even Stevie Wonder wishes he had 20/20 hindsight. Sorry.
Do they say that?
We all do at the casino where none of you come. Kickers. Gonzalez versus Suckup. First of all, these are just terrible kickers.
Yeah.
I'm going Gonzalez. So, all right. Next, the defense. We got KC versus the Chargers, or Buffalo versus Miami. You got to go Buffalo.
Got to go Buffalo.
Overall, I'm going Craig. I don't like it, but I'm going Craig.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, unless something happens, Tree Size is going to be 0-7. Well, the last 7 meetings.
I was going to say, what?
But I'm saying it'll be a 7th year.
Gotcha.
That he's lost to Craig. I hope I'm wrong, but it doesn't look good. And the next matchup, we have the Mighty Midgets going up against Gags to Riches. And let's get some historical data on this. I love it. We've got, historically, Gags is winning this matchup, the matchup series 6-4. And Crick won both meetings in 2019 after going 0-4 in 2016 through 18. So Crick's on the rebound here. He's won his last 2 against him, so I hope it continues into 2020. All right.
Well, he married Sally, so he's never on the rebound.
Fair point. All right. Quarterbacks. We got Deshaun Watson going up against Matt Ryan. I'm going to take Matt Ryan against Dallas on that one.
I'm going to have to agree with you there. Deshaun Watson is going against that Baltimore defense.
Yep.
Coveted Baltimore defense.
All right, receivers. Crick's got Hopkins, Lamb, and Deshaun Jackson. What year is it? We're still starting Deshaun Jackson.
Is this 2000?
It's crazy. Going up against Julio, Emmanuel Sanders, and AJ Green. I don't really like either one of these squads, to be honest with you. So
no,
not really. I feel like we got a lot of aging veterans for the most part here. I'm gonna go with Crick, just on the strength of Hopkins.
Without blinking my eyes, I'm going with Crick immediately. Dude, he's got D-Hop, he's got CD Lamb versus
Julio. You're gonna sneeze.
CD Lamb versus the Atlanta defense, who just got torched. Like, their defense is trash. CD Lamb, all the receivers they're just gonna eat for Dallas. D-Jack versus the Rams. I don't know. Is Jalen Rams gonna cover him? I don't know.
Doubt it.
I just feel like Crick has better receivers right now for this particular matchup.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, running backs. Crick's got Mixon and Eckler going up against Tariq Cohen and Nick Chubb, the newly acquired Nick Chubb. I'm going to give this to... I'm going to give it to Crick.
I'm giving it to Crick as well.
Mixon and Eckler, I think, Eckler's got a little more strength there than Cohen.
Plus versus KC.
Yep. Probably catching a lot of balls there.
Yep.
All right, tight ends. We've got Ertz versus Kelsey.
Even though Ertz thinks he's in the same level as Kelsey and Kittle for contract talks. Give me a break.
You're going to bring that up every week, aren't you?
I am. It's ridiculous.
All right, and then the flex. This is really interesting. We've got, is it Goddard or Godert?
I think it's...
I thought it was Goddard.
Go but I like saying Go Dirt, like Joe Dirt, the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Joe Dirt.
Go Dirt.
Underrated movie.
Versus Higbee. Now, this is really fascinating to me. When's the last time you saw double, stacked tight ends? You don't see that too often.
I don't know, Brian. I can't remember.
I mean, Josh can pull that out. And I thought that was going to be your whole year with Hooper. I thought you were going to keep Hooper.
Well, some things just changed, and I can neither confirm nor deny what happened.
All right, I'm going to take, and they're going head-to-head, too. That's interesting. I'm going to take Goddard. I mean, he had a crazy week.
That he did. But I'm going to take Higbee.
All right.
So, all right.
All right, Gould versus Tucker.
Tucker.
And then Chicago D or the Arizona D.
Oh.
I'm going to go Chicago. It's going to be a tight one, but I'm going to go Chicago. They are at home. Well, so is Arizona.
Yeah. I'm going to go Arizona D. Washington is a terrible team. I know they beat the Eagles, but they're terrible.
All right. Well, who are you taking overall?
I
know who I'm taking.
I think I'm taking Crick.
Me too. I mean, I picked almost everyone for Crick except for Kelsey. So, yep, I got to go... And Tucker. I got to go Crick. I hope that he makes it 3 in a row against Gags.
I keep forgetting when you're saying the historical data. I'm like, how do you have this stuff? All right, this next matchup is none other than Ed Lager versus the Yinzer Jags. And I'm sure you have the historical data.
I do. I have it ready. You're going to love this, Detling.
Okay.
So you played twice last year. The series is tied 1-1.
Okay.
Ed crushed Det in week 1.
I kind of remember that.
And Det squeaked out a .3 win in week 12.
Brutal.
Wow.
Can't remember. That was incredible.
Yeah, so Ed is almost 2-0 against
you. Almost 2. He kicked my ass in week 1.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Is that all?
That's all. Yep.
Okay. That was... Josh loves to...
He loves just twisting that knife.
Loves twisting a little bit. It was .3. It's a win. Doesn't matter. It's a win. You take the wins. Sometimes you got to win ugly.
It's the facts of life.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Excellent. Let's go quarterbacks, Brian. We got Lamar Jackson versus Kyler Murray.
Ooh, I like this matchup. That's a really nice matchup.
That is. It is.
I'm going to give it to... I'm going Lamar Jackson.
You go Lamar Jackson?
Yeah. I think it's going to be close, but Lamar.
All right. I'm thinking Kyler Murray, but I'm also thinking I might be putting Josh Allen in.
Okay.
Because that's a very tasty matchup. Miami.
Okay.
His overall record and stats versus Miami are incredible. So I might flip-flop on that. Okay. Who knew? If this keeps up, Josh Allen might be the top 4 quarterback. Yeah. Better than Kyler Murray, which is incredible.
It's been 1 week.
I know, but...
All right,
let's go to receivers. We've got Hollywood Brown, Mike Evans, and Sterling Shepard versus the GOAT.
The GOAT.
It's week 1.
The GOAT of this year.
Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen, and Amari Cooper, who probably will be forever ?
Yeah.
I have to go with my receivers.
Yeah, I don't know for 100%, but I'm going to say that... Well, obviously after week 1, you have the strongest trio that are healthy and playing. So I got to give it to you.
All right, next up we have running backs. David Johnson and Kareem Hunt versus Raheem Mostert and James White. Almost a Jaleel White.
I wish. I wish. That's pretty good matchup.
Yeah, that is. I think I'm gonna go me. David Johnson's playing against Baltimore.
Yeah.
And I know what Kareem Hunt's currently doing.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna win that battle.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you on the strength of Mostert. I think he's gonna have a good year for you. And James White might get a lot of looks this week against Seattle.
Dump offs.
Yeah.
All right. Next are the tight ends. We got O.J. Howard versus Greg Kittle. Kittle, George.
Is he gonna play?
Gregarious. George. I don't know. He has a question mark. He's
Yeah.
sprained knee, so it's
Yeah, I know. I
touch
saw.
and go here.
Yeah.
If he plays,
your backup?
Kittle for sure.
Who's your
I don't
backup?
have a backup
Oh,
currently.
wow.
So
I'm
that's where I'm
actually gonna go O.J. Howard.
Okay. I don't like to waste transactions unless I have to.
Yeah, and you're forced to.
Right. So
I'm gonna go O.J. Howard because I don't think George Kittle is gonna be 100% if he plays.
Right. He did play the second half last week, but he's just a blocker.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the
They
thing. He
might
could be a
use him as
decoy, which kind of sucks, but I understand. Alrighty. Flex appeal. We've got, I think it's Traquan Smith
Yeah.
of New Orleans, just picked up, I believe, versus Tyler Boyd. Currently, since I know stuff, I'm gonna go Traquan Smith.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I know
second.
things, Brian.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that. I mean, Tyler Boyd could have a big second half. They are trailing, so maybe, but I'm gonna give it to Smith.
All right, kickers: McManus versus Butker.
Butker.
Jinx, show me a Coke. Defenses: we've got Denver versus Pittsburgh and Baltimore versus Houston. I'm gonna go with Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Baltimore as well. I don't think it's gonna be a landslide. Houston will do something against them, but yeah, I think Pittsburgh's gonna put up some damage against Denver.
Can I say that you love the word landslide?
Oh,
You
thank
used
you.
it twice
Already
so far.
Good. I plan on using it many times.
Fully expect you to break out into a Fleetwood Mac song.
I'm a fan of landslide.
Landslide? Are you a fan of Fly By Night?
Shut the fuck up. You know the answer to that question.
I do, and I love it. All right. Overall, I pick myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you as well on the strength of your receivers, and your mainly your receivers. I think it's gonna be relatively close. It won't be a landslide. I think it's going to be you on the strength of your receivers.
Oh man.
Next up, we've got Disco looking for that first win, going up against Shawshank. And Shawshank, he won the first week, didn't he? I believe he did.
Don't know.
That's all right. We don't need to look it up. We have some historical data here from their matchups. Their series is tied 3-3. Disco has won the last two meetings, so he's tied it up, and Disco will own Josh.
Oh,
Nah, not really, but he'll have the advantage if he wins this week. All right, so let's take a look here at the matchups. We've got Brady going up against Goff. I'm going Brady here. I think that he's going to be hungry. He's going to go against Carolina. Yeah, I'm giving it to Brady.
I gotta go Brady too. I think Carolina's defense is trash right now.
All right, receivers for Disco. We've got Godwin, Galladay, and Campbell. I don't know if Godwin and Galladay are going to play. We're going to say they are for the sake of this. Going up against Tyreek Hill, John Brown, and Jamison Crowder. I mean, if Disco's receivers play, I got to go Disco's receivers.
If they play,
it's close. It's close though.
I honestly don't think I don't see Goodwin playing Godwin.
He has him in, but he's
Yeah,
questionable.
Yeah,
you don't think he's
the
going to play?
concussion protocol.
Yeah.
So if you see his wide receivers, Cook's got a question. Might have to play Captain Kirk again.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, that Miller. Oh, Godwin doesn't play. He's throwing Miller in.
True.
Scotty Miller.
Yep.
Gosh. Yeah, give it.
Yeah, if Godwin doesn't play, I'm going to give it to
I'm gonna
Josh.
I'm giving it to Josh overall.
All right. Running backs, we've got JTT going and Miles Sanders going up against Gurley and Brown.
Malcolm
Brown.
Malcolm in the middle,
that's
Brown.
Pretty easy for me. I'm going
Disco all the way.
Disco all the way. Tight ends, Waller the Baller versus Mark Andrews.
Ooh.
That's a nice matchup, actually.
It is.
Waller's going against New Orleans. It's a tough defense, but he could get some action. Andrews against Houston. I'm going to give that to Waller.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Andrews. I mean, I just feel like he's just good with Lamar Jackson, man.
Yeah.
Not
you see
that
that
Waller's
catch last week?
I did.
Sick.
It was really good.
All right. Easy E going up against Ty.
Oh, TY all day. No,
6 years ago, maybe.
It's Easy E, fresh off his brand new tattoo on his stomach.
Oh,
that says,
I saw that.
Feed me with
me.
the spoon, I believe.
Lame.
I thought it was terrible.
So lame.
That's his brand, is what he said.
I know. Disco, how can you approve of that? You know,
Yeah.
how can you actually have that guy in your squad?
Here's the thing. Sure, he has the abs right now, but once he's out of the football, you know, and he eats and stuff to feed him, he's gonna be like this fat gut.
It's gonna say "fuck me."
Yeah. It's gonna be like, this guy's a fat guy. Look, there's a feed me
I'm just
tattoo
saying he's gonna
on.
change it though. He's gonna change it. Fuck
Please
me.
fuck me.
Yeah.
So I think it's a total it's just awful.
All right, kickers. We got Bailey versus Prater. I'm gonna go Prater.
I'll go Bailey.
All right, Tennessee's D versus Jacksonville, or New Orleans versus Las Vegas. That's pretty good, actually.
What? You're out of your mind.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee versus Jacksonville.
I don't know. I think New Orleans is gonna have a great year, honestly.
Okay, well,
But
Las Vegas has way more
weapons.
firepower.
Yeah, I agree. Tennessee. All right, I took more things on Disco's side, so I'm gonna give that to Disco.
I have to agree with you. I have to say, Disco looks like he's going to run away with this one, provided all his players are healthy.
Yeah. Even if Godwin isn't healthy, he still could squeak this one out. You know, he wants this one in the worst way. He doesn't want to start 0-2, and he's favored by what, like 30 points.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he is. Yeah, he definitely does not want to start 0-2.
No.
Disco, that would make him sick. All right, this next matchup we have none other than the Hillbillies on PCP versus Close Doesn't Count.
All right, and you will be interested to know that this series is in my favor, 7-5.
Okay.
And I have won 3 of the last 4 and 6 of the last 8.
Wow.
So in the last, let's say 6 years, I have owned Jay. But the series is pretty close. So he must have been dominating me in the first 5 years.
Caught on.
Yep. All right, let's see what's going on.
All right, and the quarterbacks, we've got Big Ben versus Dak Prescott. I'm going to pick Prescott.
Yeah, me as well. I think Big Ben will probably get what it says, like 40-something, and Prescott, he's got a lot of weapons, and he's going to probably have to put up some points.
Versus that Atlanta defense, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Gross. All right, the wide receivers, we've got Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf, and Darius Slayton. Happy to see that you put him in this time.
Oh,
versus Juju, Julian Edelman, and Jarvis Landry. I got to give the receivers to you.
I'm going to do that as well. I realized that I probably should have played Slayton. I was going for that rookie gold in week 1, and I was going to put Slayton in there if Cortland Sutton was starting,
Yeah.
But I figured, Denver's got to throw it to someone, and fortunately it was Fant.
Would you have won if you had Slayton in?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because Craig actually talked about it in his review, and he said that he believes, and I didn't run the numbers, but he kind of ran them on the fly, and he said that I would have lost by 0.5, and I would have been disgusted with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have had a higher point total and all that, but the more satisfying thing is Craig said that I sniped him from him.
You sniped Slayton from him?
Yeah.
Good, I'm glad.
Me too.
It's about time you get sniped.
Suck it. So anyways, I'll take my receivers.
All right. Moving on to the running backs, we've got Dalvin Cook and Josh Jacobs. I was really wondering if he'd fall back down to me in the second round. I knew I didn't have a shot. But
Jacobs?
Yeah, I was just hoping. Versus Saquon, or I'd like to say Saquad, Barkley and Mark Ingram, the second. I got to go with your running backs as well. Seems like you have the more powerful duo.
Yeah, I agree. Did you see Saquon's average
versus
rushing?
Steelers?
Yeah,
it was awful.
6 or something like that.
They were the Steelers in the back of the backfield. I think 11 out of the 17 rushes or something.
That was insane.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Saquon. He didn't have a chance. It wasn't his fault.
He got some catches.
Yeah, he got some catches. He got a few points. But yeah, you don't know how they're going to use Mark Ingram, so I'm going to take my backs.
All right, moving on to tight ends. We've got Hunter Henry versus Jonnu Smith. I got to go Hunter Henry here.
Hunter Henry, they're going to have to throw a ton versus KC.
You are probably right. All right, and did you have Sammy Watkins? You're biting the apple of a Sammy Watkins here. After that week 1, which he traditionally has a week 1 hot start, versus James Conner, who we currently don't know if there's even any injury, apparently. There's not a label.
Yeah, there's no label.
So as far as I know, James Conner's playing.
I mean, and personally, I would not play James Conner just because I think at best it's going to be a split between him and Benny.
Yeah.
Because I don't see them giving James Conner his like featured back role right now. Do you?
Right. I don't know.
I don't see it.
I'm going Connor.
Are you really? Wow. Well, let's see. No, I'm going Sammy.
All right. Chargers are a tough defense. All right. Kickers: Greg the Leg or William Lutz? Greg the Leg.
Greg the Leg. Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah.
Nice. Pittsburgh defense versus Indianapolis defense. I gotta go Pittsburgh defense.
Man, they looked incredible last week.
They sure did. Didn't
Yeah, they looked hungry. So I'm hoping that they can shut down Denver. Yep.
I got those feed me tattoos on.
But yeah, Indianapolis, they might do something against Minnesota, but Minnesota, they need a bounce back week.
They definitely do.
All right, I'm gonna take me.
I am surprisingly gonna take you as well. I think I picked everything except for
Dak.
Yeah, except for Dak.
Yeah. Likewise. But Jay is favored slightly right now.
Gotta be that Prescott, man.
Yep. But hopefully I'll continue to own Jay.
All right.
And now, the matchup of the week. And you know it because my voice is lower and gravelly. We saved this only for the matchup of the week. All right, we've got Dub C Hooligans going up against Darkwing Jet. And why did we choose this one for the matchup of the week?
Well, they were the closest seeded there wasn't very many exciting matches as far as owners were.
This is true.
This is the closest seeded. I think it was like 6 versus 4 or something.
And they both have some pretty nice high projections, almost 180, 175, 180. And let's see what history has to say about this matchup. It is 6-3 in favor of Bean. So Bean, he definitely owns Jut right now.
He does.
He's won the last 5 meetings after starting 1-4 against Jut.
Wow.
That is crazy. And Jut hasn't beaten Bean since 2014.
That's pretty gross.
So I guess, and I think that's a typo because Bean must have started 1-3 against him because he's 6-3 against him. But anyways, he hasn't beaten him since 2014. So history is favoring Bean right now. All right, let's get into it.
All right, you know what they say about history, Brian.
If you ignore it, you're doomed to repeat
That's exactly right.
Let's take a look at it. We've got Russell Wilson on the side of Dub C going up against Cam Newton. Man, that's easy for me, Russell.
Gotta go Russell. Let Russell cook. Let Russell cook.
Where did that start?
I have no idea.
Me neither. But man, I think he is going to have a monster year. You want to trade him to me, Bean?
You know who's so mad about that if he has a monster year?
You?
No, Josh.
Oh, why? Oh,
Josh will lose his mind.
He will. Oh, my God. He hates Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson is like his Amari Cooper of quarterbacks.
All right. Receivers, we've got Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, and DJ Chark going up against Beckham Jr., DJ Moore, and Robert Woods. It's a decent matchup here. I'm actually still going to give this to Jet. I like his receivers, Beckham, Moore, and Woods.
I am going to give it to Jet as well. Cooper Kupp, surprisingly, is not getting the targets that you think that he should get, and a lot of it went to Robert Woods.
Yeah, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, running backs, we've got Clyde the Glide Hilaire.
Hilarious.
And David Montgomery going up against my boy CMC and Kenyon Drake. Jut.
Oh, man.
Jut
yeah, you got to go Jut all day with the McCaff.
Yeah. And Drake.
And maybe we'll see. I mean, Edwards Hilaire going against Chargers defense?
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably have a good game.
Well, I don't. Maybe we'll see how it really is.
How can you even consider going against CMC?
Oh, I can't. I'm just saying maybe this next game will be a little tougher for Hilaire.
All right. We've got Ingram in the tight end. Wow. barely got that win for Bean last week. And he's going up against Gesicki. I'm going to give it to Ingram.
I am going to give it to Ingram as well.
Yeah, I think he has a better week. And in the flex, we've got Ronald Jones the second going up against Rojo the second going up against Michael Gallup. I'm going to give this to Michael Gallup.
Yes, I'm going to say that he gallops to the victory in the flex position. Sorry.
That's great. Kill me now. All right. Waiku going up against Farn Barn.
Did you say haiku?
Haiku, yeah, I like
There's
that.
Fairbairn.
Yeah, I go with haiku.
All right, I'm gonna go Fairbairn.
All right, that's fair. All right.
Oh, you
Go.
kill me
Let's
now.
Stop.
Yes.
San Fran going against LA Rams.
Against Philly.
Go San Fran.
Yeah, you gotta go San Fran against
no
the
bell.
Jets, man.
Yeah,
no
no
bell.
bell.
They dare you to run.
Mm-hmm.
You just picked up Kalen Ballage off the practice squad or whatever. So you guys, come on, go run. Well, we got like 7 defensive backs back here. Even I don't care if Sherman's on IR.
Although the Rams, like apparently Philly has no offensive line whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
true.
They're probably going to dominate Philly. But yeah, I'll still take San Fran.
All right.
All right, who are you taking?
Overall, I
This is
think
going to be a good matchup.
it is a good matchup. Oh man,
It took a little bit of both.
Dub C has like the buns going.
Yeah, Dubsy definitely has the buns, but oh man,
Justin's got the meat.
he does. He's got the meats.
I'm gonna go with Justin here. He's gonna pull it out due to McCaffrey.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that emotion. I think that he is also
gosh.
he's gonna pull that meat out and win.
Can you name that song?
Yeah, second that emotion. I don't know. Is that the title?
Second that emotion.
I don't know the actual title.
Is that Paul Abdul?
I don't think so. Crystal would know.
Dang it. But either way, you still said it.
I did intentionally.
Is it Tiffany? I think we're alone now, Brian. I think we're alone.
All right. So we're both taking Jut for the matchup of the week.
Yes, we are. We good?
Yep. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I thought I had one, but I think it just went out.
I'll start.
Yeah, you start. Maybe we'll come back to it.
First final thought is I really want to give a shout out to Josh for sending those historical tidbits. That's something I've always wanted to do, is like have that handy, like who's beaten who. I mean, and he even went a step further with like the actual like trends. So I think that's really fun to hear. You know, the fact that Tree hasn't beaten, was it Kubisic for the last 6 years? You know, it might be 7. That's just fun stuff. Kind of makes it a little more interesting. So shout out to Josh on that.
Very nice. Very nice. Final thoughts. Gags. We love you.
I own you.
Wow. No, Gags had a hard day at work.
Yeah.
We love you. We support you. Talk to us if you need to. We all have bad days, although that particularly scene would not be. That's really bad.
Right, and it sounds like he's done that many times. So
yeah. So that's a tough racket.
Yeah.
You and Ed are some what's the word I'm looking for? No feelings.
I don't know. You're saying the
numb.
word for, numb.
Comfortably numb guys until that one moment. But yes, good for you guys. Keep on doing the good work. Sorry you had to see that.
Hopefully Rocco still had an awesome birthday.
That's right. Go Rocco. It's all about Rocco.
That's right.
Rocco rocks.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Modern Life. Oh, I was going to say, get him to watch Fraggle Rock.
Ah. We both went over
his
cartoon.
favorite wrestler is The Rock.
Oh, come on. We're ending. This is really
and
painful.
Maybe he likes the tag team, were they the Red Rockers? Crap.
I don't even know.
Where's Jetty when you need him? The Rockers. Something Rockers with the tassels on their legs.
I'm going to stop recording, but Deli's going to continue sitting here and saying stuff for like the next hour.
Right, we're going to get the Rock, Rock Hard.
Rocco's Rock Hard Abs.
Rock Hard, Rocco Abs. Probably is a Rock Hard age 6. I don't know how old he is. Are you still recording? I really am struggling right now to come up with stuff with the Rock.
Okay, well, you don't have to.
Maybe you can get him for his 16th birthday and I Rock. Boom, I'm ending with that one.
That is good, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Deli, you ready?
I'm always ready, Brian.
We love you, Seth.